What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. Got some very cool Dark Warrior duels for you guys to check out. This is going to be Dark Warrior featuring some very spicy supplemental engines. And I'm not talking about the obvious Orcus. I'm talking about going outside the box a little bit, including things like zombies and dinosaurs up in here. Not really to facilitate your plays for Dark Warrior, but really to just use their incredibly good boss monsters. Because cards like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno and Baller Drock are just like insane, and if you can put those on board, then you can end up with a field that's much stronger than what what Dark Warrior generally does, which is just your Azathoth play that can be broken a multitude of ways, like a Kaiju or a Pankatrops or Twin Twister or something like that. And these Dark Warrior players are still out here because I actually played one round one at YCS Atlanta. So his opponent opens up with Ash Blossom, but sadly that's going to be discarded for the Aqua Dolphin. This is why I argue that you should be playing Phantasme in everything. Maybe the exception is Sky Striker, because if that would have been a Phantasme instead of an Ash Blossom, it would not have died, and you drop it, you draw a card, and you get some field presence. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Anyways, he's gonna drop some spells into the graveyard, and here's where things get a little different, right? Because this looks like a standard Dark Warrior play, and usually you'd expect like a Dark Warrior player to drop maybe Malicious into the graveyard or something, but this is where the dinosaur side kind of starts making its rounds, and you're going to drop Overtext into the graveyard. That basically is going to get you your double evolution pill. You now have a dinosaur in the graveyard, so that's pretty good. Not bad, not bad. He is going to summon his copy of Conductor Tyranno off of that pill, and now he's going to go for Summon Sorceress. Now, this is where things are going to get really interesting. He's going to activate DDR and bring back his Armageddon Knight, and he's actually not going to drop again a warrior into the graveyard. Instead, he's going to drop the Netherworld Banshee into the graveyard, Necro World Banshee into the graveyard, and what that allows him to do is get Zombie World. Now this is cool, right? Now this Junk Forward used to be, well, when it was summoned, it was a warrior monster, but guess what? Now, because Zombie World is on the field, it's going to switch to being a zombie monster. This means Summon Sorceress can now summon any zombie from your deck, get your Glow Up Bloom. He's going to actually Synchro Summon into Herald of the Arclight, which is like another disruption on top of the Conductor Tyranno, but that at the same time allows him to get Baller Drock from his deck, and I'm not going to lie, that's actually pretty damn spicy. Never thought I'd see Dark Warrior running, freaking Zombie World, but it not only facilitated Baller Drock getting on field, but at the same time, it ended up netting him a Herald of the Arclight, like a really good Synchro play. This card is still so incredibly good. I mean, yeah, it doesn't have like the greatest stats, but as long as you just negate something, you're going to be fine. Obviously, his opponent doesn't really have anything. He can use the Phantom Knights of Fogblade to try to negate a card, but who really cares? He has Herald of the Arclight, and he obviously has way too many things that he can just throw at his opponent. Obviously, well, no, it's not an OTK. I think I misspoke there. Actually, yep, he lives with 300 life points because Conductor Tyranno still does that damage, but obviously, he's not going to be able to do anything realistically. He tries to activate the Orcus Prime. His opponent says Herald of the Arclight to that, and keep in mind, anytime he tries to activate any like monster effects, then your boy Baller Drock can simply negate that, and after he's already used his Baller Drock up, he can continually use Ultimate Conductor Tyranno to put Homeboy's monsters face down, and then knows that he can just summon Baller Drock during his next turn because he has Zombie World on field, plus his opponent has a field spell as well, and that's actually a cool combo. I mean, I don't generally see these two guys on the field at the same time, but it basically gives you like three disruptions, and then these cards kind of just fuel each other because this guy can be attributed for this one, and then this one comes back during your next standby phase. So it's actually pretty cool. Now this one is going to be, this is with the same deck, by the way. This is going to be a miscalculation because you can see he opened up with a Dark Warrior Brick. I mean, when you draw this many random equip cards plus called by the grave, you're not really doing anything. You needed some combo pieces, and Despots are opening up with 2 copies of Machine Duplication. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, it's time to go. He's about to go seriously ham. He's getting, by the way, 3 searches in this turn from the Despot 2. So I was like, all right, this is basically freelo. Like, this is a free victory, but it's not going to be as free as you think. So he's actually going to use Called by the Grave on one of those Despot 2s. He's going to Pendulum Summon, I believe, 3 monsters. It just looks so free after making the Cleave for Genius. I don't know about this, man. He goes for Summon Sorceress, and I mean, personally, I've never seen Summon Sorceress summoned when it's not actually pointing to any zone, so he cannot use the effect. I thought maybe he would go with a Nightmare Unicorn, because if he goes Nightmare Unicorn and bounces this, then obviously he can just probably OTK his opponent. He's gonna go for Machine Duplication number 2, but he just does not actually have the damage. He has to waste one of his big attack monsters attacking the face down. I really think he should have went Nightmare Unicorn here. And I feel like he probably would have been able to just kill him, because he does leave his opponent with 1200. I mean, like, how many misplays did you have there? I don't even know if they're misplays, because I looked at this guy's deck. He's running 2 copies of Summon Sorceress and no copies of Nightmare Unicorn. I'm just going to say that that's troll. Why do you need 2 copies of Summon Sorceress? Almost no deck is going to make 2 copies of that. But regardless, his opponent does top deck the perfect card, gets the Visionary Valiant, sends the Mass Hero Shadow Mist to the graveyard, and now he's pretty much off to the races. This time Malicious is coming into play, sends Overtext to the graveyard. He's gonna DDR for the Malicious, and the reason he's doing this is because he wants to get a monster on board that can be used as fuel for the ultimate Conductor Tyranno. And when I saw this, I was like, oh my god, that's your worst nightmare, man. Having all of these monsters on the field and then seeing a Conductor Tyranno drop, because you just know he's putting everything face down on the field. And even though his opponent is at 8,000 life points, Conductor Tyranno is one of those cards that can almost be a 1-card OTK. He can simply attack into all his opponent's monsters. He'll leave them with ultimately, like, I don't know, maybe 300-400 life points, and then the Lady B will be able to attack for game. He scoops it up because he knows he's about to take 2,000 more damage just with these 2 attacks. So I guess he would have been at 1,200 life points, which ironically is the same thing as his opponent. But that was definitely some trolling with the double Summon Sorceress. Summon Sorceress to I guess a main monster zone where it can't point to anything. That was just a weird and bizarre play. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed those short duels. Let's pause for one quick second and check out this weird Dark Warrior deck. Alright, so this is what the deck looks like on paper. I mean, the Warrior lineup is like super standard. I'm pretty sure anytime you're playing against Dark Warrior, these are the cards you're basically going to see. You can even include Instant Fusion as basically like another Warrior, because people just use it to summon Invoked Raijin. All of these are just like pretty much standard for the Dark Warrior deck. Maybe Photon Thrasher isn't actually standard, but I know like Junk Forward and Neo Space Connector, Malicious, all this stuff, Armageddon Knight, Dark Reference, etc, etc. Blue Mountain Butterfly, which I don't know why this is a Warrior. I mean, would you go out in the wild and ever see a butterfly and think, man, that thing is fierce? I just don't get why it's a Warrior. The one card I wasn't like really sure about was Crusadia Arborea, and the only thing I can think of is that it is kind of like a monster. It's a level 3 tuner that can kind of special summon itself out of your hand without needing to pay any light points or anything like that. And I guess it just kind of goes into like Don Dragster and Power Tool Dragon. Power Tool Dragon obviously in here mainly for like the DDR plays and stuff like that. So that's the main reason I think that Crusadia Arborea is in here. And yeah, after that you're just running a bunch of like a few card supplemental engines. I think that, I mean, it's really up to you if you think that it's worth kind of the bricks, because you guys did see in the second duel, I mean, it was like Brick City. Obviously the equip spells are going to brick you, but if you do open up with a bunch of like mixed pieces, especially if you draw things like Baller Drock or maybe your Overtext, Conductor Tyranno, you don't really want to draw these boss monsters or really any of these pieces. You just want to like send them to the graveyard and search them and stuff like that. So I mean, if it's worth the bricks, you think, then I would definitely consider. But I mean, this is not supposed to be like a high tier meta deck. It's just a variation of like a tier 2-ish deck.